Alrighty, time for some more Gunslinger. For any of you guys who are catching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. And don't forget to swing by our Twitch channel and catch us live. We're gonna go ahead and just jump right into this one. I see no difference. Whatever, that's fine. Let's try it. See how it goes. Then we'll alternate. What I was more concerned about seeing here. Yeah, that's fine. I was kind of more concerned about seeing. Doesn't look like I have any control over it, so I'm hoping it doesn't have any. What the hell's nuggets of truth? That's secrets in the game? Ah, it's the secrets in the game. Okay. I'm hoping there's no motion blur, because I'm not seeing any way to turn it off. Story! See how we go over here for? Hard. Story is bonkers. I mean, all the stories are a little bonkers. Now we're gonna find out if we need to play the first game to play this game. Also, I'm gonna throw this down here for now. And once we're in and see the UI, we'll figure out where we should be.
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Silas Greaves? The bounty hunter?
Used to be.
Ah, well, what are you doing here in Abilene?
Just passing through. Got a little business to take care of.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to buy you a beer.
Hell, son, it would be my honor to drink it.
I'm Molly. Howdy.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar. Oh, I bet you got some great stories.
A couple.
Any of them true?
Jack, be nice.
A few.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's gang in Bannock, Montana? Is that where you started as a bounty hunter? That's what it says in this here dime novel.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy. First man I hunted was back when I was riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That scrawny son of a bitch had no fear. Wouldn't back down for nobody.
I heard he collected the 10 stars off any crooked lawmen who crossed him.
It was a war, boy. The Lincoln County War. And Billy promised his regulators would take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on his shoulder and a hair-trigger temper. Made him dangerous as hell.
I really hope that this Billy the Kid is not Billy Candle from the first game. It's gonna make me real sad. Silas Greaves arrived in Abilene in 1910, claimed he had ridden with Billy the Kid. Okay.
It was about 30 years ago. Billy was hiding out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Springs.
Sounds like a lovely place.
I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day. I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Funny, haha.
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
Gorgeous looking game. I forgot what year this came out, but I can always check it. Came out 2013. 10-year-old game. Oh. We're good. We're fine. Okay. Oh, that's kind of it. I thought it was gonna pop up like a journal. It even gives me like objective marker. Let's see.
You heard, Pack. Need to stay here and keep an eye on the road.
That's not fair. We're missing all the fun.
I knew those two morons would never let me through. I had no choice.
I'll take it. So, looks like the ammo count's on this side, so let's move ourselves over for now. Until we see something else that might be a bit of a hindrance. We'll see. Game is super railroady, but 100%
Is he with us?
on your... Oh, what? This is why you don't look at FPS. Get wrecked. Experience by killing enemies, you need it for leveling. Ah, okay, our experience meter's on that side. Does it matter our experience is on that side?
Was it Pat Garrett's posse?
Oh, yeah. I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast.
Now, can I take their
Garrett and
guns
his
like
army
in
of
the first
deputies
game?
had surrounded the entire homestead.
No, just their ammo. How's that? Okay. Can I take the horse? No.
Fire at will! Spread out! They're coming from the rear!
I decided to help Billy and the boys out a bit. So that's just what I did. As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kids' apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun.
It's got a
hand
more
in Lincoln
arcadey
County.
style, which is kind of not bad. The graphics do remind me a bit of a prettier Borderlands. God damn it. Ow, what? Where are you? Oh, crouch is a toggle. Good to know.
You're dead!
Gunplay so far is the best one out of the three. I will say that. What we got here? There's a skill menu. Interesting. Okay. Dual wielding Desperado, long distance sharpshooter. I kind of like the long distance sharpshooting in the other games, so I'm probably gonna go this route again. I want me a rifle. Okay, arrow size, slow down time. You get fresh concentration like slow. Okay. Cool with that.
Watch out! One of them! God damn it, he's right behind us! Where the hell is
Garrett's men were running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off.
some bitch run!
the gun with the star? Wait, what gun with the star?
Still, one of them reached the water tower. Not
Okay.
a bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there.
That's interesting.
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest tools in the shed. A lot of them were saddle tramps or sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks.
Wasn't there one that ran to the side? Where'd it go?
Then, I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the window. Back door! We'll cover you!
Right in these cats.
Truth be told, things weren't much better behind the house.
Ow, ow, ow. In the skill menu. It's talking about this? Oh, is that how I get new guns? By leveling up? That's annoying.
I cut their numbers in half, but that just made the ones that were left twice as mad. They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo. It was a bit of a slog, but I finally fought my way around the back of the house.
Find guns in the real world, but that upgrades its super. Oh, okay, good to know. Alright,
And
Billy.
like that, I was inside, none the worse for wear. I passed Dirty Dave.
I'll shoot you.
Deader than a rat in a trap.
Who are you shooting at?
How about that? Huh? You like that?
And upstairs, I found Billy and Charlie Baldry.
Oh, I should have done more exploring. "21 killed by age 21. Smart as a whip." Okay.
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo. Grab a gun and get to the window."
Alright, there's no way that's
So you were
Billy
friends
Candle.
with Billy the Kid.
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm. I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on coming.
I think I got one. Where the hell Garrett get to? He's missing more legs.
That's when Charlie got hit. "You're catching us in a crossfire," shouted Billy. "Get to the other side."
Oh, more ammo. Ow. Oh, you want me to get on the other side? Gotta love conveniently placed barrels.
Someone shoot that bastard.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of
Press the
valor.
wrong button.
What's that mean?
We're fine
It
though.
means that it was time to cut and run. "They got a Gatling," Billy shouted. "Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention."
Okay.
He directed that order at me. and I thought, why the hell do I have to do it? But I went anyway. Dumbass that I was back then.
What do we got here? I kinda want both. Yeah, let's do that. More ammo would probably be really good.
Those poor sons of bitches are done!
That
Many would have fled in my place. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack here.
What are you saying, old man? Jack is joshing with you. Yeah, he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas, ma'am. Now, where was I?
You were heading for the barn.
Careful when I look away from the screen. People tend to always jump out when I'm trying to look at chat.
Making my way past the pass on the fallen foes.
That was cool.
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
So, like, how do I change? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up. Finally, I had the stables within my reach.
Anything for killing people.
After
Apparently
the
you do.
fight, maybe we could treat ourselves to some fried chicken. And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir.
Yeah, this
that
game is goofy. Nice to
backstabbing
hit
bastard
shots.
with that
It feels
tacked-on
so
tin
good.
star.
I mean, everything about it feels really good. They got a nice, like, almost Borderlandy, like, vibe going on, which is kind of nice. Proud, handsome, ham-handed, Pat Garrett.
You challenged him to a showdown.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Yeah, the duels in the first game were pretty bad, so... Okay. Okay.
And that you killed him in a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables.
This time for real. Achievement thing. Okay, if that's how the dueling mechanic is in this game, that's better than the first two games. Way better than the first two games. Dear God, the first two games dueling was just awful. I can live with that. I can honestly live with
Stepped
that.
inside, and bam! Last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on. How did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
Okay.
So what happened? Did Garrett arrest you?
Yeah, after I came to, the bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
And the kid surrendered?
When he realized there was no getting out of there alive,
So they locked you up in Lincoln?
indeed they did. Sentenced me to hang right along with the kid.
At the sting of spring, Billy the Kid and Silas Greaves end up in jail. They remain there until the spring. Even with the concentration not fully charged? Okay. Oh, cool. So it doesn't have to be fully charged to activate. Good to know.
It's important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after.
4 months after the arrest of Silas Greaves.
He was with John Kinney's gang, and they were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Okay.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape too. My first order of business was finding a firearm.
Oh, cool. We have like little character things. William Henry McCarter, also known as William H. Booney, Kid Arthurian, or Billy the Kid, was probably born between 1859 and 1861. He died on July 14, 1881, shot by the sheriff, Pat Garrett, in Fort Summer. I'm really bad with my abbreviation. What is that? Is that New Hampshire? No. Whatever, NM. To this day, he remains one of the Wild West's most recognizable outlaws. Billy stood approximately 5'8" tall and was of a slender build, with blue eyes, blonde hair, and a boyish charm. Many reliable sources can vouch for his sense of humor, generosity, and friendly nature. He was shrewd, relentless, and reckless, and often put his own life in danger for those he cared about. He loved to sing and dance and could read and write. His handwriting was said to be extremely neat. Billy was very popular with the ladies, though. He never played favorites. Not one soul who knew him personally ever said he had an explosive temper or propensity to kill at the slightest provocation. Kid owes that image to his killer Pat Garrett, who wrote a book embellishing his exploits 2 years after Billy's death. Hollywood then burnished that myth to a high shine. Contrary to popular belief, Billy was not a stone cold killer, or even much of a criminal. He never lived an outlaw life of robbing banks, stagecoaches, or trains. Petty rustling and horse thievery were the worst of his transgressions. Billy was credited with killing 21 people, but that number was inflated considerably. He definitely killed 4 men, 2 in self-defense, 2 during jailbreak, and he participated in shootouts during the Lincoln County War, which left another 5 people dead. But then again, they might or might not have been killed by the bullets of Billy the Kid. Pat Garrett. Patrick Floyd Pat Garrett was born on June 5th, 1850 in Cuseta, Alabama, and grew up in a prosperous Louisiana plantation located just below the Arkansas state line. He died on January 29, 1908, shot in uncertain circumstances on the road from Las Cruces NM? What is NM? Now it's bothering me. New Mexico. Right, that makes sense. I keep forgetting that that's a state. By one Just Wayne Brazel, Pat was a cowboy, a buffalo hunter, a bartender, and a customs agent. But history remembers him as the sheriff who killed Billy the Kid. Garrett and Bonnie met in a saloon, and for a while they were fellow card players. When Garrett was made sheriff of Lincoln County and Governor Wallace put a $500 bounty on the kid's head, the newly minted lawman began a relentless pursuit despite numerous traps. Billy was able to escape the tightening noose. He could not run forever, though. On July 14, 1881, in Fort Summer, Billy, most likely unarmed, entered a room where Pat Garrett was lying in wait. Sitting in the darkness, Billy asked the question, "King S, who's there?" And Garrett answered with 2 shots from his revolver. One hit Billy in the heart, killing him on the spot. He was buried in the Fort Summer Cemetery between the graves of 2 friends, Tom O'Folliard and Charlie Bowder. Many people later accused Garrett of killing the kid in a dishonorable manner. The book he co-authored, The Authentic Life of Billy the Kid, in which Billy was portrayed as a degenerate murderer, did nothing to lift that disreputable cloud. The image of the kid, however, became part of his legend and remains so to this day. Stinking Springs. Pat Garrett was relentless in his pursuit of Billy the Kid and his gang. Garrett and his posse tracked him to the Desert Stone farmhouse in Stinking Springs and surrounded the building. Keeping Billy company was a colorful collection of desperados. Among them were Tom Pickett, Billy Wilson, Charlie Bowder, and Dirty Dave. Roundabout crossed paths with such legends as Dave Mather, Bat Marterson, Wyatt Earp, and Doc Holliday, and died in a rather unsavory manner as he was shot and then decapitated by a Mexican machete in 1886. Oof. Charlie Bowder, who probably killed Buckshot Roberts in the Blazers Mill gunfight, did not survive the siege at Stinking Springs, as a bullet hit him in the chest while he was passing a window. The others surrendered on the following day. December 23rd, 1880, after Dirty Dave hoisted a white flag, the captured criminals were transported to Santa Fe while Billy was taken to Mesilla, where he was sentenced to death by hanging. He was then moved to Lincoln, New Mexico to await execution. It never happened, however, as the kid pulled off a spectacular jailbreak. The Lincoln County War is often considered one of the most famous examples of a ranged war in the history of the West. Range wars were conflicts over the control of open range or rangeland freely used for cattle grazing. Disputes were usually over grazing or water rights. In this case, the fight was over the control of the dry goods trade in Lincoln County. Quarrel arose around a conflict of interest between the Dollander Murphy faction and newly arrived Englishman John Tunstall. At first, they tried to use the legal system to resolve their dispute, but soon the fight devolved into a conflict between armed gangs. Murphy and Dolan had ties to outlaws like John Kinney and his gang and Jess Evans, whose outfit was known as the Boys. They were responsible for the death of Tunstall, which became the central catalyst of the conflict. The other side had the Regulators. William Bonney, aka Billy the Kid, rode with them, promising revenge on the men who murdered Tunstall. Both sides were shown in by different officers of the law, so technically they were all acting within the law. After the Regulators were defeated, some of their members became fugitives and, just like Billy the Kid, met an untimely violent end. Okay. How you like it, Arizona Sim? To be fair, it sounds like we're in New Mexico, man. I think there's less scorpions.
Luckily, I located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun.
Loud as thunder. Okay. Can cut a man clean in half. We'll test that.
I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Anybody see Billy? Son of a bitch shot Jim Bell!
To be fair, he shot me first.
That scatter gun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. The kids escaped, raised a huge ruckus.
Oh, okay, there we go. Now we can pick up a gun.
Guards were everywhere looking for him.
Can't let the kid get away! Anybody see him? Shoot! Yeah, you know you can't.
Oh,
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but
You're all going to die, Dan.
some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in
like
arms.
low on ammo here.
Suddenly, I was a fugitive.
How the hell did the
Hey
kid
there.
escape?
Nope, thought that was ammo.
Can't have gotten far. Gotta be around here somewhere. Then he broke out of jail.
Violence is not the answer.
Says you.
So that bastard you were after, what did he do?
He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever going to find him, I would need to
There's a
get
skill
my
to get dual
ever-loving
pistols.
ass
Yeah,
out
that's
of there.
the other tree, which I'm fine with. I actually think I prefer the single. I
I
was not so
tried
much
to
of
be
a fan of dual
stealthy
pistols in the
and
other
sneak
games.
my way past.
This town doesn't have a moment's peace.
Oh, okay.
Where'd he get you? You!
But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me. Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy.
You hooligans can go to hell.
We're gonna be in deep shit when Pat gets back.
He's got some sturdy kneecaps.
Don't let him go!
Some sturdy kneecaps. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of the skill tree I'm going down. Is the high speed, is the long range.
Somewhere.
See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and color. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
Alright, the pistol's doing more work.
Give it up!
They're shooting
I'll flank at your headstone!
Technically, I think this is an alley.
Children here.
We can take them!
There's no way I
Much
trust
lead
that.
was whizzing by my head. It was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground. I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters. Smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. We prize them too high, if you ask me. You can't hide forever.
Oh.
Let's do this! Let him get away!
A lot of explosive barrels around here.
Surrender your...
You're threatening the lives of innocent.
What's this secret? Horse thief! Before the automobile, the horse was the primary means of transport in the Old West, and having one often meant the difference between life and death for settlers living in the mountains, or the endless prairies of the western United States. Without a horse, there was no way to work the land or herd cattle to get to the mine or fetch a town doctor in time to save whoever had fallen ill or been injured. In fact, without a horse, it was mighty hard to survive at all. No wonder that horse thieves were treated as the scum of the earth and were usually lynched without a trial. A gallows was a common sight in the Wild West, and many men met their demise at the end of a rope because they stole an animal that didn't belong to them. Ouch. That's how I feel about dogs. Is that why you shoot dogs? We're learning something about black tie lore.
That town's going to hell in a handbasket!
Why did it come here? Oh, that's why.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Distraction. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I messed up.
Respect for decency.
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town.
Yes. Swap it.
I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no
What the-
one would
Oh, I
put a
didn't even
price
see
on
him.
my head.
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead.
I mean, that's just giving me a target.
No, because they all thought I
no,
was
shut
Billy, and all that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy Bob Ollinger was organizing a posse to put me down. He was already a mean son of a bitch, but he was doubly pissed that I stole his mean-ass shotgun. Anyway, it was me or them, and the only way forward led me straight to perdition. But the cards were dealt, and I had no choice
Thought
but
that
to
was a
play
barrel.
them.
That's weirdly satisfying. I love that I'm taking that meme to a whole nother level. Hello. I'm gonna run out of rifle ammo, sadly.
Let's do this!
Really, none of those hit? The story is so dumb. I mean, I don't know. Nothing's really happened yet. Just getting started.
We can take it.
What do we got here? Accelerate increase by smashing. I don't know if I care too much about that though. I want that. I do want that too. No, let's get this and complete the full circle. Is there bullet drop? Is that what's going on right here? Maybe not. Maybe it is. I'm a little confused.
Don't let him get away.
You good?
I'm putting you down.
There is, it looks like
Finally,
there's bullet
I
drop, but I
found what I
think
was
there's
looking for.
damage drop
The stables on the edge of town.
from like a certain distance. Like blacksmith? Can I... Nope. This is random. So was this just like another route I could have came? Oh, interesting. I feel like there's more secrets.
I guess Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Sure he did. He dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. Hello, Bob, I said. I think you better let me go. And he says, I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun. So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Oh, I literally could not press that any faster. Really? Oh, you need to ADS? Alright, fair enough. So maybe a D there? I'm not sure. So there's a speed thing, but how come I lost speed there when my aim was on him the whole time?
I killed him in a fair
Oh, I
fight.
think I kind of get it a little
Everybody
bit,
saw
although
I
I'm
had
not.
no
That's-
damn
so there's
choice.
two things we're kind of gauging.
Well,
it's kind of annoying, actually.
Lincoln got a mite depopulated that day. Pat Garrett gunned down Billy 3 months later, so his escape was all for naught anyway.
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
Cowboys were a huge outlaw gang led by Old Man Clayton. Curly Bill and John Ringo were two of his most deadly pistoliers. Not every Western legend rode a horse. Black Bar, notorious stagecoach robber and bandit, hated the beast and traveled by foot. Tried to kill the shielder by shooting through the hole. Yeah, I've been doing that. Okay.
So
Yeah,
was the
got my rifle
bastard
back.
you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there!
We totally could have helped him.
I did my best to help those poor passengers.
No, you did it. Liar.
Moments later, the attackers were dead. And I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None. It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apaches often did. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground and whatever else they had. Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to it.
Hold on, were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle.
What?
I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force.
I really like this storytelling.
See, at the
I'm kind of
time,
digging it.
I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to find my way past these other assholes first. Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo.
Ooh, running out of
Another
life, more
perfect
like it.
example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up.
Got that?
Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim. Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament.
Oh, I'm getting confused.
ahead
surprised I
as if
survived
the
that.
devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my
What?
ears.
I don't have no more
but
ammo?
I wasn't about to roll over and
Oh
die.
crap. Oh, no bullets? Damn it, I was hoping he'd drop ammo. Alright,
I
we run.
just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there
narrator's
would
the boss.
be if Quentin and his men caught up. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this. Nowhere to run.
Ow. Broken ankles.
I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going.
Got you now.
Oh, you son of a biscuit.
And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven.
What
I
the fuck?
found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior.
What the hell?
The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Bat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know. And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo.
Okay.
That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. Time.
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. And the old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat.
Oh,
My
that's
fury
super
knew no bounds.
Can't you see I'm trying to get the hat? Let me get the hat now. Here? There's a hat. Doc Holliday. John Henry Holliday, better known as Doc due to his degree in dentistry, was born on August 14, 1851 and died of tuberculosis on November 8, 1887. He is best remembered as Wyatt Earp's friend. The famous sheriff wrote about Holliday in an 1896 article. Doc was a dentist, not a lawman or an assassin whom necessity had made a gambler, a gentleman whom disease had made a frontier vagabond, a philosopher whom life had made a caustic wit, a long, lean, ash-blonde fellow nearly dead with consumption, and at some time the most skillful gambler and the nerviest, speediest, deadliest man with a six-gun that I ever knew. Doc Holliday fought in the famous gunfight at the OK Corral at Wyatt's side. He received a flesh wound and in return filled Tom and Frank McLaury full of lead, killing at least the former of the two. No one ever expected that Holliday would die in a bed with his boots off, least of all him. Tuberculosis that ravaged his body for most of his days finally took his life. On his deathbed, he asked his nurse for whiskey. When she refused him, he looked down at his bootless feet and uttered his last words, "Damn, this is funny."
It was finally time for
Corral
that
is like
old
45
man to
minutes from
pay
my
for
house.
his sins.
It's alright. Gatling gun? Oh god. Crazy. Cankerous? Mean as hell. Old man Clayton.
I yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Clanton, I'm coming for you!" A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last
Damn it.
him till kingdom come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I
no
was to
slide
find
button?
and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that gun.
That's a little sad. God damn it. Like, all those bosses were real people, but the story is bull. I mean, it's a game. I can't move it. That was a mistake.
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon, but it was just me.
Oh no!
I don't know how you lived this long.
Any chance I can?
Do I gotta reload again?
That didn't go as far as I was hoping.
What I ever do to you? Wait, goddamn book. Show yourself. What a piece of crap! You want stupid zombie!
Oh, take it easy.
Would you just die? I don't know how you lived this long.
Son of a gun!
What I ever do to you?
Really?
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps, and that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
Hey, we only got one nugget of truth though. True reason behind Silas's pursuit of the cowboys wasn't money, but for revenge on one of his arch enemies, Johnny Ringo. Check the nuggets of truth menu for the number of remaining nuggets in your... Okay, yeah, we know that.
A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
So what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. But first I need to tell you about the Cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Earp's coming!
Get ready, boys.
What the hell?
Curly Bill took charge of the Cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil. Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Road, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
You or me?
Oh, it's gonna be you, obviously. Why does that look like a trap?
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the Cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed.
It's a short game?
And that's
Really?
what drove me
I
forward.
think I'll actually finish this today.
They say that Ringo was an early artist.
I hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap.
Cool.
Earp wasn't much of a match for him. But Doc Holliday might.
That Lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal.
Okay. That was satisfying. Oh, that was so good. Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot.
I feel like there's a secret around here. Oh well.
Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack. Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
Who's hiding?
Boy, you are shit out of luck. Keep shooting. You can't get me.
Oh, that shielder has a health bar.
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
I really do hope they do make another one. I mean, the franchise isn't technically dead. This company still exists. They could make another one. Just when? Nobody knows. Oh, I could have done this. Sad. Missed opportunity.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
John Peters Ringo was born on the May 3rd, 1850, and ended his life of violence 32 years later. History remembers him as an outlaw and a gunfighter who was associated with the Cowboys gang in his final years. In 1874 to 76, Ringo earned his reputation as a dangerous desperado while fighting in the Mason County War. His deeds during the conflict cost him almost 2 years in jail before the charges were finally dismissed. Soon after arriving in Arizona, an inbred Ringo shot and wounded a man in a saloon for preferring to drink his beer instead of the whiskey Ringo bought for him. Wow. It is no surprise that around Tombstone, Ringo's reputation was that of an ill-mannered, ill-tempered, violence-prone saddle tramp, especially when drunk. On the other hand, who knows what his reputation would have been if the fight at the OK Corral had gone differently. History is written by the victors, and Wyatt Earp and his brothers not only won the actual fight, but the PR battle as well. On the 13th of July, 1882, Johnny Ringo was found dead with a gunshot wound in his head and a revolver in his hand. He was sitting under a tree barefoot. His horse was found 2 weeks later, his boots tied to the saddle, as cowboys often do to keep the scorpions out. His death was officially ruled a suicide, but we still don't know whether the king of the cowboys was killed by Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday, or if he simply shot himself because he felt his life was no longer worth living. Why do I feel like I'm backtracking? Yeah, my theory says it was Doc as a last gift for Earth. Maybe. I didn't realize you were such a cowboy fanatic. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You are from Arizona.
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Takes a shot before he takes a shot. Curly Bill.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I gotta not do that. He shoots really fast apparently. Oh, god damn it. Alright, this is gonna be a tougher boss fight than the other one. Just spawn behind me? What the fuck? That ain't cool. That is a hard dome.
Brocious gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
Wait, what? I thought we didn't kill this guy.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
God damn it. The thing I'm not understanding is like the AD thing, like.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
I was clicking, but nothing was happening. That was weird. Oh, is that what's going on? Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
It's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
That makes so. How much speed do I need for this guy? Dude, I was in the 20s. What do you mean a bit above 10%?
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true.
I guess you need a certain amount of speed for certain people.
Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
Ringo's just a crayon.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Not the plumber. Who's gonna clean the toilets?
Wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
That's not true.
Indeed
There's
I
an
did,
outhouse
son.
in the Wild
Indeed
West.
I did.
The latrines. Killing Johnny Ringo closed the first chapter of Silas's saga of revenge and started him on a bloody career as a bounty hunter. 6 sense skill. Okay, that's fine. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Just gonna grab a snack. What's going on here? What's up, Papa? How you doing? Too many snakes, scorpions. Nobody in Arizona. Now we hold it. What? So this Arizona has the most underwear sales per year due to everyone constantly pooping their pants and avoiding the bathroom. You care to confirm lots of like men. Like yo, wait. There's no kick there. Wait, what? I want to spend money on it? By the way, how did last night's zombie blood moon go?
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant. And hunting Plumber looked like a good way to get rich
I
quick.
did not. I wasn't even there.
As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits and put a generous price on his head. Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape. And that's where I thought I'd find him.
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn...
My late father pointed out to me more than once. God made men, but Samuel Colt made them equal.
I will drop you down a mine shaft.
It was fine. So 4 people out of the 5 difficulty blood moon. I wasn't back yet. It did go okay though. I didn't die once. So arguably 3.
You ain't beefing me.
Cycling around and getting gang food. I climbed halfway up the ladder to the attic and shot below me just out of their reach. I watched everyone else get massacred. Everyone died? Oh, I didn't realize that was there. This way?
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches. There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings.
I made a house, but wait, what do you mean you made a house? You're not in our house anymore?
Charlie Crow, the blacksmith. James, who worked in the stable. Sam and Jeremiah
you start drawing
Barlow,
maps.
the butcher's sons. Ordinary citizens who lived a double life.
I see now.
Stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors.
Damn you!
Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll.
Feels like they really want me
A
to
hell
use
of a lot.
dynamite here.
That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other. He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach. Dangerous, desperate individual. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it. I thought I was some kind of hero. I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny.
Sit down, one cheating since currently is honest playthrough. But yeah, Papa's is definitely a bit more honest, with the exception of the experience. Sort of. I mean, we are kind of exploiting the merchant questing at the moment. I think when I get back on with you guys, I'll probably just go loot some houses. Also, give me 2 seconds, guys. I need to go use the restroom. I will be right back. All this talk about Ty and no scorpions has made giving me the urge to use the latrine. sorry about that. You got a fireman's axe now? Nice. I think I'm still using only stone tools and bow. I think the only thing I got so far, I think, is an actual, like, knife, I want to say. I think I found a knife. So I'm not using the bone knife
But
anymore
first,
in that game.
I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
Come out, you yellow bastard! Plumber wants that asshole dead. Now you're really pissing me off! You're done.
Oh, there you are.
Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around.
Not at all.
And
I
that
know
confusing
exactly where
maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it.
Kill him!
Can't you see I'm looking at a gun? I mean, I pressed the button, but okay. That's fine. It's fine.
We're waiting for you!
Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell.
So it's the same exact rifle as mine.
A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Time to blow your shit up!
Bannack, Montana. Currently a well-preserved ghost town in Beaver County. It's famous for what happened after 1863 to 1864, when the local sheriff Henry Plummer was accused of being the ringleader of a mysterious gang known as the Innocents. Some believe they were responsible for nearly 100 murders. A citizens group known as the Montana Vigilantes summarily hanged 22 people for those crimes, including Henry Plummer himself. Bannack, founded in 1862, was named after a native Bannack tribe. In 1864, it briefly served as the capital city of Montana Territory. It remained a mining town until it was deserted by its last residents in 1970. During its prime, Bannack boasted a population of over 10,000 residents. There were 3 hotels, 3 bakeries, 3 smithies, 2 stables, 2 meat markets, grocery store, and a restaurant, a brewery, a billiard hall, and 4 saloons. I'm actually surprised any western town had that many people in it at one point. Really, 10,000 residents.
I will drop you down.
I always
my
thought
shaft.
western towns were small, like 100 to 200 people at most.
Come on out, you yellow bastard!
What? I didn't hear you. Can you repeat?
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked.
Spoke too soon. Oh! That's what's killing me. I did not notice that mining car. I was so focused on shooting that guy.
I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come.
Take that
For With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at. All it takes is one tiny spark, and boom.
Thank you.
Could I maybe do one of these?
You ain't beefing me.
Oh, I can't climb back up.
As a boy, I always loved the 4th of July.
I didn't know I couldn't come back up. Is the rifle maybe too strong? I think the rifle's too strong.
Surprise! God damn you!
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tube.
Ah! I see. I'm supposed to run.
I freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly insane. It's a good
took
thing
my
that I
hand off the
abandoned
keyboard
that
for 1 second.
ridiculous plan before I even tried it. Instead, I spotted a ladder way into the mine from the opposite
Oh, that's
side.
supposed to happen. I see. Wait, we did all that for nothing?
It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution, because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith.
Really?
Which ain't easy when you're suspended between heaven and hell. I was determined not to give up, however. As Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water. But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder. I wanted to use the element of surprise. Plus, I figured I could use the exercise. I was warmed up already, so what the hell?
Hey, you.
Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved better.
Okay, I might have panicked when I saw the dynamite.
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Lawman, outlaw. Scallywag. Henry Plummer.
They're gonna bury you. Well, in a million pieces. Worse and worse for you. Hate it.
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was gonna take some doing.
Look at shot. No blood money for you today. I need some help here. Come on, boys. Take this cocksucker out.
Oh, that's not cool. Where'd he go? Oh, there's a checkpoint.
I'm going all medieval on your ass. Not you morons! Catch this, you son of a bitch! Why don't you just join the circus?
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in
Why
gold.
was it so hard?
And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
Award of choice falling. God damn. Keeps trying to tell me something.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself. Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself.
Says claimed that he took out bounty hunting as a way to finance the pursuit of his remaining quarry, Roscoe Bob Bryant. Let me just check something real quick. Alright.
I dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different.
Alright, time out. I'm actually gonna call it there for today on this game, I think. Because we're gonna actually jump into some 7 Days to Die with the other guys and have a little bit of fun.